Hi, I'm Nick Ross for iTWire. Today we're with HP. Who are you and what do you do, please?
Hi, lovely to meet you. Lovely to be here, Nick, and thank you for this opportunity. I'm Samir, and I take care of the personal system business for Greater Asia. Personal systems, it includes all our compute devices, commercial compute devices, consumer, gaming. So the entire basket of compute products is kind of clubbed under personal systems group.
And you're normally based in Singapore, so why are you in Sydney today?
Well, that's a great question. Australia is a very important market for us, and at HP, our core philosophy starts from the fact that we really want to do what our customers want. So it's very important that we are at ground, listening to our customers, hearing from them what would make them successful, and then innovating products which will really help them harness the true power of technology. So I'm here to meet partners, customers, and of course hear from them what's working, what's not working, but more importantly, what can we do better to really augment the use of technology in their future pursuits.
And HP is doing a huge launch at the W Hotel today. And what's the new portfolio? Can you explain that?
Well, absolutely. I think at HP, one of the things that stands out and which is hard coded in our DNA is our innovation engine. Now, if you look at, we are at a very interesting times in the industry. We are at an intersection of two mega trends: hybrid and AI. And hybrid is not new. Ever since COVID hit all of us, it's become the new norm. But I think what's happening now is with the intersection of AI is really bringing out a very profound human truth that when you love what you do at work, the work doesn't feel like work. So the whole thesis now of HP and our strategy hinges around future of work. And future of work is not about just technology. It's about use of technology. It's about job fulfillment. It's not about job satisfaction. So what we're trying to do here is we're making this future of work real for our customers, and that comes through with innovation in products. So what we're doing here at Hotel W is unveiling our new platforms, new products across the lineup to really make AI real for our customers, such that they can really, really get the best out of the technology, which then eventually helps them shape the future of work in their environment.
And what would you say the future of work looks like?
It's very interesting that future of work, as I said, it's not about job fulfillment. It's not about job satisfaction. It's about job fulfillment. It's about how engaged you feel. It's for employees to feel that they're really making an impact. So the use of technology becomes very, very important. And use of technology has to be intuitive. It has to be seamless. I mean, if a user has to spend a lot of time understanding, decoding how technology needs to be used, this is where it then leads to there's a huge source of dissatisfaction over there. Now, what do you do to ensure that it becomes seamless? And therefore, and when you are a professional, you're just not dealing with compute devices. You're dealing with headsets. You're dealing with all kind of peripheral devices. Now, how do you ensure that you're able to bring about seamless connection between all the devices and ensure a unified experience? Just imagine you're walking into a meeting room where you don't have to worry about keying in the meeting ID. The meeting room will recognize you, and based on the recognition, connect you to the meeting that you're walking in the room for. So that seamless connectivity is essentially going to breed and feed the future of work.
And how does that ANZ market compare to other markets?
Well, ANZ is, if you look at from a maturity curve standpoint, is one of the early adopters of technology. We've seen it over the years. And when it comes to the new world where we're talking about intersection of hybrid and AI, ANZ is right up at the top of the stack. Now, clearly, today, use of technologies is just not about, as I said, it's just not about proof of concept. It's now how do you use this technology, especially for business customers, to translate this into the bottom line. So from that standpoint, a lot of innovation coming in from Australia market. We work with a lot of startups, especially in Singapore. Now, what essentially we're trying to do is we're trying to see how we bring ecosystem together. Because it's not just about the hardware play; it's about how do you engineer experiences with the portfolio that we have and the solutions which are available, such that you make it real for our customers. So, from when you talk about these experiences together, I think Australia is a very, very important market.
And what are your development teams working on at the moment?
So multiple things. So as I said, at HP, if you think of it, today most of the AI applications are sitting in the cloud. And one of the biggest pressure points that all our CTOs and CIOs are facing is around how do you now use technology? Well, as a proof of concept is great, but how do you really deploy AI at a scale such that is able to translate into dollars and cents in terms of bottom line? Our view of the world is that it's going to be a hybrid world. It's going to be a hybrid ecosystem. So it's going to be AI in the cloud, but at the same time, AI at the edge is going to become increasingly important. Because if you look at a lot of the compute, AI compute is going to shift to inferencing. In fact, the forecast is that 2/3 of the AI compute is going to be around inferencing, and inferencing would largely happen at the edge. So our team is really focused on how do we bring AI at the edge and make it real for our customers. Because one of the things which we've heard and which we are learning is the biggest challenge that which CIO and CTOs have today in scaling AI to where it should be is around the economics of AI. With the huge growth that you see in explosion that you see in the use of tokens, and tokens, though the per cost token has come down, but it's still a prohibitively expensive thing for an organization to completely work on the cloud. So the cost economics dictate that it's going to be hybrid, because a lot of inferencing when it happens at the edge, A is private, it's more secure, there's little latency, and it's very, very productive. So this is where the entire focus is AI at the edge and how do we make it real for our customers.
And how do you see your industry unfolding in the next 12 months? And I suspect we should chuck in something about RAM apocalypse in there as well, because I know some laptop manufacturers are struggling, but HP doesn't seem to be so much.
No, not so. You're right. I think our supply chain teams are well positioned, and the way we do this is, we take a longer term view of where the market is headed and where our customers want our HP products to be. So from that standpoint, there's long-term planning involved. But to your point, where do we see the industry headed in 18 months from now? I think there are two things which are happening. One, AI, which used to be a concept, now is becoming real. So I think one clear thing which is coming out is that AI will become a front and center of an organization's strategy, IT strategy, because it truly will empower the productivity gains which companies are looking for. It will also fuel a lot of workflow innovations which are required in the company. So that's part one. Part two is, if you look at the last few years, a lot of this has been sitting in the cloud. 18 months from now, our belief is going to be hybrid, but AI at the edge is going to become even more relevant. And therefore, when you look at our portfolio with compute devices, with printers, with poly, with our peripherals, we bring in a complete suite of products to really bring about the best in technology and make it absolutely real for our customers. Because one of the challenges that when you talk to customers or when you talk to any human being, is the paucity of time. That's the biggest constraint one has. Now, if you can use technology to really augment that, and it augmented in a way that you are always able to access technology regardless of where you are, then you're really, really making it more impactful. And this is where the industry is headed. And we feel super excited because with the breadth in the portfolio that we have, I think we are uniquely positioned to deliver to what customers want from HP.
And is there anything else you'd like to add while you've got the ear of iTWire's audience?
I think a few things. One, when you talk about AI at the edge, of course, there are a lot of benefits which come along. But what we're also doing is we're also engineering experiences for different personas. And what I mean here is in an organization setup, you have different personas. You have an IT manager, you have a product manager, you have an HR leader. Now, when you look at day in the life of each persona, it's very different. Now, AI is not a one-size-fits-all approach. AI will have to really look at every persona, look at different workflows which the persona goes through. So the AI strategy or AI tool set or the AI playbook is going to be different for different personas. So what we're doing at HP is, in addition to our hardware, we're looking at what else can we do along with the partners that we work with to really bring about a change in the day in the life of that persona. Because if you're really tied over this constraint of time and unlock bandwidth for people, the only way you can do so is use the technology to bring about that. That's second. And third, what we're doing is we're trying to build AI ecosystem of the future. And what I mean here is we realize it's just not a hardware play. We'll have to bring the entire ecosystem together, which means we'll have to work with software developers, people who are working on agents, people who are working on different solutions. We'll have to bring the silicon partners together. We'll have to work with educational institutions. We'll have to ensure startups whom we are working with have access to capital. So how do we build AI ecosystem of the future is another focus area for us. So we have this initiative in Singapore. We just started that about 8 months back. Now we're expanding its footprint. It's called Garage 2.0. I don't know if you know the history of HP, but we started way back in 1939 out of a garage.
I've been in that garage.
Oh, wonderful, yeah. Wonderful. So we're looking at Garage 2.0 though. The premise here is if that garage in 1939 gave birth to HP, how can we use Garage 2.0 as a vehicle or as a platform to give birth to thousands of new startups who have a bright future ahead of them? So as part of that, we are working with startups, we're incubating them. That's one. The second is we're looking at how do you go work with them, go sell, go market with them. So this entire ecosystem that we're trying to put together is essentially to ensure that they get access to, they get go-to-market access. But more importantly for HP, it's about weaving in their technology with our hardware such that we're able to engineer those experiences which I mentioned, which are essential for those different personas. So those are areas that we are really, really focused on, apart from just pure hardware play, because we do believe that for customers to really get the best out of technology, it has to be a complete ecosystem play.
Okay. Samir Shah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Nick. It was a pleasure talking to you.